people wrote of his good character. He then said that 11 years ago he was far worse than I was now, but that when he got right with God, he turned his life around and is far better. He says he's still not perfect. He's only 95% perfect. When he told me that, I felt like saying, man, if you aren't perfect, then I'm hopeless. But I kept quiet. Anyway, to get him out of my room, I knew I was going to have to damn myself somehow. I decided to do it by agreeing with him, which I must admit seemed to get him looking a bit smug. He told me that he wanted me to take back my calling him insane and a nag. Although I felt like I was lying, I agreed to take that back. Still, though, I can see why he's not married. The poor woman whom he married, the poor woman who marries him, is going to be a super masochist if she wants the marriage to survive. She told me that he'd like me to rebuke him also, if I could find anything wrong with him. That I'd be doing him a disservice if I didn't. I'd be doing a disservice to him if I didn't. Well, yeah, well, and have him call, yeah. Well, and have him call, say that, yeah, well, and have him say that I'm just a fool who thinks receiving rebukes means he's a nag. Sure, he's going to accept my rebukes. Well, Stu still wants me to leave. He said he's had it with me and my stubborn defiance to not change. He says he's not a control freak, but that as a Christian brother, the Bible tells him to correct those who are in need of correcting. That he's just following the scriptures by trying to make others closer to God. That God has chosen him to be a leader. Well, and something like that. Anyway, South Korea looks really good to me now. Maybe even North Korea. Oh well. I forgot to mention this, but being that I wasn't being strict enough as an overseer of the place, Stu has made Randy the overseer, as if I was ever the overseer and Stu had actually stepped down from it. What a lie. I think that's funny, yet predictable that he'd do this. I just knew he'd show that he was never serious of stepping down and making me the overseer. Today, when Stu brought the list to me and saw that each complaint had a number by it to show me how many times he called my attention to them since my arrival to Fairgrounds Drive, I cracked a smile and corresponded with, "Man, this is amazing. You're a computer. Do you have a journal of all the times I disappointed you?" Stu became very angry with my response and said that he was highly offended and insulted. He told me he wanted me to take that back. He said that the number of times he called my attention to these problems was just a rough estimate. I then said, "Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you say that." And I don't remember, of course, as usual, when it comes to his recollection. Anyway, Jenna the dog finally died. The Woo and Baby Doll took the death of an animal they knew all their lives very well. Being that this dog died, I'm wondering if it's not a foreshadowing that I'm not going to be going to Korea after all, and instead I'm going to end up living in the little house that Jenna lived in and stank up in, being that she's now dead. Well, maybe that will be an improvement in my life. It's not fun living with someone who thinks you're majorly defective to the point where God may even have to harm to correct me. Stu says that doesn't mean I'm going to hell, but that if I don't change, I could be in for some major problem. Stu thinks he's the best friend I've ever had, that I have ever had. That he's the only one who ever was willing to tell the truth about my character. Well, if he's the best friend I've ever had, then I'm in deep trouble for sure. Oh well. Well, I'll try to still be friend. I'll try to still to be friendly with this wacko. Flatter him when I can, since he seems to love that and would fight tooth and nail saying he doesn't love it. Stu, I feel, thinks he's going to be greatly rewarded in heaven. He's a big brother, he's active in church, he tithes, he does this, he does that, goes to Toastmasters, is a leader, is highly organized, and most of all is a man of his word. When he tells you you're going to be leaving because you didn't do X, you'll be leaving. And it doesn't bother him at all. Doesn't mind confronting people at all. Well, I wonder how long the next roommate, whoever that poor soul will be, is going to last. Over and out, Bruce Ramsey. P.S. Last night while Stu attacked me, I continue to waste time and talent by taping and assembling together more of my cassettes or messages from the rooftops. Stu, like most times, will probably continue to be right when it comes to this being a waste of time. Oh well, over now. November 19th, 2002, Tuesday morning, yesterday morning. I could have worked today, but chose to turn it down. The reason? Well, yesterday I bought 3 cans of black spray paint to make another monolith, and today I expect to start spray painting. I mean, I think, well, what if Saddam continues to lie and actually say his country has no weapons of mass destruction? Seems to me that would make all my hours of working and storing up money a vain issue. Well, I'll know by December 8th, I guess, whether or not taking the day off today was wasting time. I turned down a job at MLK Junior High today. In the process, I spent much of the morning reading a book by Rabbi Harold Kushner, that had the title, well, I forgot. Still, it was a great book that caused the tears to flow. Talk about a great writer. Many of the issues he brought up in the book, I feel, are the issues Ruby Alec is being tormented with right now. The thing that was great about the book is that he actually presents ideas that help relieve the torments of the aging human condition. Being so the case, I'm going to recommend this book to Ruby to see if it cheers her up. The book isn't very long, and I feel that it's the best Harold Kushner book I've ever read. Much better than When Bad Things Happen to Good People, which is really depressing. This actually has an uplifting, hopeful ending to it. Anyway, I hope I haven't hurt my childhood friend Eddie, or Eddie's hopes of ever becoming a Christian, because last night I sent him an email describing what I've been going through with Stu. Hopefully I haven't made Eddie think that Christians are... hopefully haven't made Eddie think Christians are lost like everyone else in life. If I have, well, God, please forgive me. Oh well. Over and out, Bruce Ramsey. P.S. I haven't heard anything from ProLinks. Supposedly a man from Korea was supposed to call me and interview me over the phone, then make arrangements. Well, he never called. I don't know if this is good or bad thing. I don't feel like calling up and asking what happened, because hey, maybe it's a good thing that things could be breaking down. I mean, if I can't get organized and call me, I mean, if they can't get organized and call me, who needs to be with them? Maybe I should stay right here in the cozy, comfortable States after all. Over now. PPS. The Kushner book I read today is called When What You Wanted Isn't Enough. PPS. Same day, not night. I finished painting all my video cassettes, both empty and complete. I painted them for nothing. I painted them for possible making into another 2001 monolith. Well, it didn't turn out the way I wanted it. I put on shiny black paint first, then the usual black paint I'm familiar with. In the process, it destroyed the monolith effect of being one single color. Oh well. I went out and bought more black paint of a different brand that stinks to high heaven. It was night when I put it on, so who knows what it'll look like in the in the light, I guess it doesn't matter. If I build the monolith again, I'll build it in the living room of this place I'm living at. It's dark to the point where it might hide its imperfections. I have over 300 video cassette shelves. 300 video cassettes, more than enough to make a monolith. As I was spray painting it, the lady who gives us scraps for my roommate's dog watched me from the window and called down to me to ask me what I was doing. I told her that it was an art project, that I was going to build a 2001 monolith out of it. I didn't tell her that it contained video cassettes, though. What else? Oh, I hear that one of the two Christian brothers who burned down synagogues and killed two gay guys just recently saved California taxpayers some money by killing himself with a razor blade. He was the one who seemed so smug and happy at the horrible deeds he and his younger brother did. He really seemed like he thought he was God's #1 boy. Anyway, I hate to come upon whatever scriptures in the Bible that turned him and his brother into monsters. They sure developed a strange Christianity, one that not only tells you to hate Jews and kill gays, but that it's okay to kill yourself as well. If I die and find myself before the God they apparently were worshipping, it will be a sad eternity for me and the rest of mankind indeed. Speaking of eternal things, I tried to write another letter to friend Eddie that was spiritually uplifting. I don't think I succeeded, God forgive me. I told him that I was working on a short story called The Old Man and the Snowman. The Old Man and the Snowman. A takeoff on the Old Man and the Sea. Instead of catching a huge marlin fish and trying to defend it from sharks, an old man creates a beautiful sexually stimulating snow babe and tries to keep it from being destroyed by the neighbors who think it's obscene. The Snowman looks like his late wife when she was young and beautiful. What else? Well, I sure hate the smell of that new paint. I have all those video cassettes outside in the backyard. They're in the form of 3 tall black towers. Over now. You know something? I have more to read, but you know something? I don't think my... Same day, no night. This is what I wrote today, November 20th, 2002, Wednesday morning. My desire to launch another and more impressive version of Rooftops was increased last night when I heard that in northern Iraq that our special forces were planning something with the Kurds that was going to be bigger than what was planned with the Northern Alliance in Afghanistan a year ago. Hearing this made the scripture in Jeremiah 51 go through my mind, that scripture that says, "Gather the nations with the kings of the Medes, the captains thereof, and the rulers thereof, and all the rulers thereof." It also made me think that the people of the North and a great nation were starting to get together. Of course, they'll only get into action if Saddam lies about what he has on December 8th. Well, December 8th is only a little over 2 weeks away now, being the case, and being that it's sounding more and more, that will put a hit on him even if he does come forward with a few of some instruction. Hey, I'm not smarting over the fact that I didn't get any work today. Since I'm not working today, I think I will build the monolith and do something different. Something I've never done before. I'm going to sing E into the video camera, record it into a VCR and play it, and record it, record myself singing E with the TV image of me, and continue in that vein until it sounds like I'm singing E with a chorus. Then tonight, when I build the monolith, I'll play the finished tape on the TV downstairs and act like an ape as I touch the monolith with my recorded selves in the background in chorus singing E. My roommates will probably think I'm insane.